I'm Irina Hall, and today we're interviewing Tom, who's a mentor for small businesses here in Alpharetta. And he's going to give us some great tips on how to raise capital for your startup. So let's get started.
There's an old saying, every generalization ever said was wrong, with the possible exception of that one. So my comments here are going to be generalizations. But the entrepreneurs face a classic problem. They say they've got an idea, if they have money, they can get traction. From an investor standpoint, you say, if you have an idea and traction, we'll give you money. So it's a classic problem. What it really boils down to is entrepreneurs need external validation. It's not what they say or what they think, it's what other people do. And the faster they can get external validation, the more likely they are to attract investors. Now, there's a universal rule. There's all different ways of raising money, from friends and family all the way through venture capitalists. But the bottom line is there's 3 R's. It's risk, reward, and relationships. A lot of people talk about risk and reward, but frankly, the most important one is the relationship. And understanding that is very, very important. Now, if you're raising money from your friends and family, obviously relationship is there. They know you and they trust you. But if the business doesn't work, which is the norm, be ready for some very uncomfortable Thanksgiving dinners. They're counting on you to protect their money and make a return. The relationship for financial investors is very different. They want to invest in you and have confidence that you can do the job and protect their investment and grow it. So that relationship that you establish with any type of investors is very, very important. The key here is getting some external validation that what you plan to do does make sense, and people will in fact buy your product or service. Okay, the best investors you can possibly have, even better than your friends and family, are customers. If you can get customers to prepay an order, there's a lot of talk about minimum viable product. We won't go into that right now, but if you can get customers to prepay, it's far and away the best way to do it for a number of reasons. First of all, there's no equity dilution. So you keep control of the company, which is obviously very important. But even more important than that is if customers prepay an order, they're showing they have confidence. It's the best kind of external validation you can get. So try and find friendly customers that will invest is the best way. Number 2 is finding business partners. Okay, a business partner can be somebody that you're working very closely with, most likely a distribution partner, and they will prepay orders. It's much like customers, but again, it's external validation. They have confidence that what you're doing is going to be successful in the long run. Next is friends and family. Be very, very careful though, because as I mentioned before, most businesses unfortunately fail. Only half the businesses started make it to year 5, and 80% fail by year 10. So failure is the norm, not the exception. So be very careful asking friends and family. The next step is financial investors, and they vary from angel investors to venture capitalists to private equity firms, but private equity is really hundreds of millions or billion-dollar investments. Very interesting is the quick word I'll use. Clearly, they're focused really on products and services that are aimed at consumers. As the typical person in quick making funding from one of these organizations is really looking for their own betterment, either a product or a service that they have, or getting behind an idea. Obviously, if you're going to be solving world hunger, you'll get a lot of people that'll step up to it. But it's really got to be very simple product or service, consumer-oriented. And you can raise a lot of money. I don't know what the averages are. I would think that $25,000 or less is the most common. There are, of course, giant exceptions to that on it. So if you're in business to business, I'm not so sure it's the right avenue. Also, if it's a complex product at all that can't be summarized in in a few sentences, then I'm also not sure. But if you're in that sweet spot of a consumer-related product that people can directly relate to, I think it's a great way to start. Well, I retired 8 years ago, but unfortunately, I failed retirement. I'm up at 6 o'clock every morning. I'm usually at the computer by 6:45, and I help startups. And actually, so far this year, it's mid-June, I've been involved with 44 different companies, entrepreneurs, or organizations. I like to say helping them make new mistakes, not the same ones I've made. So even in retirement, I'm a workaholic. If I was 10 years younger, I'd see a shrink to fix this problem.
We would like to thank Tom for his great advice. If you have any questions for us that you would like to have answered, please connect with us on social media and let us know. Also, feel free to check out our website at creativemusclestudios.com. That's it for today. Stay tuned for our next episode and be brave and passionate.